Your Ford is sitting on one of the most important safety and performance components in the entire vehicle, and most owners are making catastrophic decisions about it without even realizing it. I'm talking about your tires. The 4 rubber patches connecting your F-150, Explorer, or Bronco to the pavement are responsible for everything from stopping distance to fuel economy to how your truck handles in an emergency. And yet, I watch Ford owners walk into dealerships every single week and make the same 5 stupid mistakes that cost them hundreds of dollars, reduce their safety, and actually shorten the life of their tires. I've been working with Fords for over 15 years. I've seen what bad tire decisions look like at 60 miles per hour on wet pavement. I've seen owners spend $1,200 on dealer-recommended tires that were completely wrong for how they actually use their trucks. And I've seen the upgrades that transform how a Ford drives, stops, and handles, upgrades that the dealer will never tell you about because they don't stock them and they don't profit from them. Today, I'm breaking down the 5 dumbest tire mistakes Ford owners make at the dealer and exactly what to do instead. Mistake number 4 involves a number printed right on the tire sidewall that most owners never read, but that number is silently destroying your fuel economy and ride quality every single mile. And mistake number 1 is something dealers push on almost every service appointment, and it's so unnecessary that independent tire shops actually laugh about it. Let's get into it. Mistake number 5, letting the dealer pick your replacement tires without asking any questions. This sounds basic, but the damage this causes is real and expensive. When you walk into a Ford dealership for a tire replacement, the service advisor looks at your current tires, notes the size, and orders whatever Ford-approved replacement happens to be in stock that day. They are not asking how you drive. They are not asking whether you tow anything, whether you go off-road on weekends, whether you drive mostly highway miles or city stop and go. They are filling a tire order, not solving your specific problem. Ford equips its vehicles from the factory with tires that represent a compromise. The manufacturer has to balance ride comfort, handling, noise, fuel economy, and cost across a massive range of buyers. The stock tires on an F-150 XLT are not the same tires a serious overlander needs. They're also not the right choice for someone who puts 30,000 highway miles per year on their truck. Here is the genius upgrade instead. Before you authorize any tire replacement at any shop, spend 10 minutes answering 3 questions honestly. First, what percentage of your driving is on pavement versus off-road surfaces? Second, do you tow or haul heavy loads regularly? Third, do you prioritize fuel economy, long tread life, or maximum wet weather traction? These answers completely change which tire you should be buying. A Ford owner who drives 90% of miles on the highway and never goes off-road should be looking at a highway terrain all-season touring tire like the Michelin Defender LTX or the Continental Terrain Contact HT. These tires offer dramatically better fuel economy, quieter highway noise, and longer tread life than the aggressive all-terrains many dealers default to. The difference in fuel economy alone between a touring tire and an aggressive all-terrain on a full-size truck can reach 1.5 to 2 miles per gallon. Over 20,000 miles, that is real money. A Ford owner who goes off-road twice a month needs a proper all-terrain like the BF Goodrich All-Terrain TA-KO2 or the Toyo Open Country AT. These tires are specifically designed to handle trail conditions while remaining livable on pavement. The dealer stock touring tire will cut sidewalls on rocky terrain and leave you stranded. Stop letting the dealer make this decision for you. Know your driving profile before you walk in the door and specify exactly what category of tire you need. Mistake number 4, ignoring the load rating and only paying attention to tire size. This is the number printed on the tire sidewall that most Ford owners have never looked at in their lives, and overlooking it is a dangerous and expensive mistake. The load index and load rating of a tire determine how much weight that tire can safely support. On a light truck or SUV, this number matters enormously, and choosing the wrong rating is something dealers do all the time when they are substituting tires and looking for the cheapest in stock option. Ford F-Series trucks, Explorers, Expeditions, and Broncos often specify tires with an LT designation, which stands for light truck. LT-rated tires are built with stronger internal construction and higher load capacity than passenger P-rated tires of the same size. When a dealer substitutes a P metric tire for an LT metric tire of identical dimensions, the physical size looks the same and the truck drives the same around the parking lot, but under load at highway speed on a hot summer day, the P-rated tire is being asked to do a job it was not engineered to handle. Overloading a P-rated tire creates heat buildup inside the tire carcass that standard tire pressure cannot compensate for. This accelerates internal rubber degradation and can lead to tread separation or a blowout at highway speeds. This is not a remote risk on a vehicle that regularly carries 5 passengers plus cargo and tows on weekends. It is a real scenario that Ford engineers specifically designed against when they specified LT tires for those applications. Here is the genius upgrade. When replacing tires on any Ford truck or body on frame SUV that has a tow rating above 5,000 pounds or a payload rating above 1,500 pounds, always verify that the replacement tire carries the correct load range. Load range E tires carry a maximum load pressure of 80 pounds per square inch and are the standard specification for heavy-duty F250 and F350 applications. Load range C or D tires are common on lighter trucks and SUVs. Check the sticker inside your driver's door jamb. The original equipment tire specification is listed there. If the dealer's replacement does not match the load range on that sticker, push back and ask for the correct rating. For owners who want an upgrade beyond stock capability, moving up one load range while staying in the correct tire size gives you additional safety margin when towing at or near maximum capacity. The ride will be slightly firmer, but the protection is worth it for owners who actually use their truck's tow rating. Mistake number 3, agreeing to nitrogen inflation at the dealer. This is one of the most widespread and profitable upsells in the dealership tire business, and independent tire professionals consider it one of the biggest consumer ripoffs in the automotive world. The sales pitch you have heard goes like this: nitrogen stays at a more consistent pressure than regular air. It will not introduce moisture into your tires, and it helps tires last longer. The dealer will charge anywhere from $30 to $80 to fill your tires with nitrogen, and often a recurring fee every time they top them off. Here is the science. The atmosphere you breathe is already 78% nitrogen. Regular compressed air from a tire shop is between 78% and 80% nitrogen before any filtering. The difference in pressure stability between pure nitrogen and regular air in a standard passenger or light truck tire under real-world driving conditions is statistically negligible. Published research from organizations including Consumer Reports has found no meaningful difference in tire pressure loss rates between nitrogen-filled and air-filled tires in everyday driving. The benefits that do exist for nitrogen inflation are measurable in racing environments where tires experience extreme temperature swings and pressure changes, not on your F-150 sitting in a grocery store parking lot. The genius upgrade here is not a different gas, it is a different habit. Checking your tire pressure every 30 days with a quality digital gauge takes less than 3 minutes and costs nothing. Your Ford tire pressure monitoring system will warn you when a tire drops significantly below the recommended pressure, but that warning threshold is typically around 25% below the recommended pressure, which means your fuel economy and handling have already been suffering for weeks before the warning light comes on. Manual monthly checks catch gradual pressure loss before it affects your driving experience. A quality digital tire pressure gauge costs less than $15 and lives in your glove box forever. If you have already paid for nitrogen inflation and your tires currently contain nitrogen, there is nothing wrong with the situation. But never pay for it again. Top them off with regular air when needed. With the atmosphere already at about 78% nitrogen, adding more air does not meaningfully change the composition inside the tire. Before we get into the 2 most expensive mistakes Ford owners make at the dealer, if you are finding this valuable, go ahead and subscribe right now and hit that notification bell. We are about to cover the 2 tire mistakes that are costing Ford owners the most money, including one that nearly every dealer recommends on every single service visit. Mistake number 2, buying the wrong tire size to get a more aggressive look. This one originates in good intentions. You see an F-150 or a Bronco on social media with a lifted suspension and massive tires, and you want that look. So you head to the dealer or tire shop, you ask for a tire upgrade, and without understanding the consequences, you approve a tire size that is significantly larger in diameter or wider than your factory specification. The immediate result looks great. The truck sits higher and looks more aggressive. But what is happening underneath is a chain of mechanical problems that will cost you significantly more than the tire upgrade itself. Changing the diameter of your tires alters your speedometer calibration. This is not a minor software inconvenience. Your speedometer reading is calculated based on the expected tire circumference. A tire that is 10% larger in diameter makes your speedometer read 10% lower than your actual speed, meaning you are driving faster than you think on every highway mile. In states that use radar-based speed enforcement, this adds up to expensive tickets for speeds you did not know you were traveling. More critically, changing tire diameter throws off your transmission shift points. The transmission control module calculates vehicle speed using a combination of wheel speed sensors and the expected tire diameter. When you install larger tires without recalibrating the transmission module, the transmission shifts at the wrong vehicle speeds for the gear ratios. This creates more heat in the transmission fluid, accelerates clutch pack wear, and can trigger fault codes that incorrectly suggest mechanical problems. Oversized tires also put additional strain on wheel bearings and CV joints because the leverage arm between the center of the wheel and the contact patch increases with tire width. This does not cause immediate failure, but on an F-150 with a daily commute of 40,000 miles per year, you will see wheel bearing failures arriving 30,000 to 50,000 miles earlier than expected. Here is the genius upgrade that gives you the look without the damage. A +0 fitment, also called a same diameter fitment, changes the tire to a wider and more aggressive tread pattern while maintaining the same overall diameter as the factory tire. You gain a more aggressive stance, better off-road capability if you choose an all-terrain tread, and improved visual presence with zero impact on your speedometer, transmission calibration, or drivetrain components. If you genuinely want larger diameter tires for serious off-road clearance, the correct approach involves a leveling kit or lift kit sized specifically for the tire diameter you want, combined with a speedometer recalibration using Ford's IDS diagnostic software or a compatible aftermarket tuner. This addresses every downstream problem that an unsupervised tire size upgrade creates. Do it correctly from the start or stick to same diameter upgrades. Mistake number 1, approving tire rotations on the wrong schedule or skipping them entirely because the dealer's pricing feels inflated. This is the single most important tire maintenance action Ford owners can take. The way dealers communicate leads owners to either overpay for unnecessary service intervals or skip rotations altogether because the sticker shock pushes them to procrastinate. Both outcomes are expensive. Here is what tire rotation actually accomplishes. On a front-wheel drive vehicle, the front tires wear dramatically faster than the rear tires because they handle both propulsion and steering loads. On a rear-wheel drive truck like a rear-drive configured F-150, the rear tires wear faster under towing loads. On an all-wheel drive Explorer or Escape, the wear pattern is more even, but it still develops unevenness based on suspension geometry and weight distribution. Rotation moves each tire to a different position on the vehicle, evening out these wear patterns across all 4 tires so that all 4 reach the end of their usable tread life at approximately the same time. When you skip rotations on a Ford F-150, you typically end up with a situation where 2 tires are deeply worn at 40,000 miles and the other 2 are still at 60% life. Replacing only the worn pair creates a diameter mismatch between the old and new tires that stresses the differential and the transfer case on all-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive models. This is a documented cause of transfer case damage on Ford 4x4 trucks. You end up buying 2 tires every 40,000 miles instead of 4 tires every 60,000 to 70,000 miles, which costs significantly more over the lifetime of the vehicle. The dealer often charges $50 to $80 for a rotation as a standalone service. This is the pricing that causes owners to decline or postpone. Here is the genius upgrade in terms of approach. Schedule your tire rotation to coincide with your oil change appointment, which any shop, including the dealer, will typically discount heavily or include as part of the service package. The labor overlap is significant because the vehicle is already on the lift. More importantly, pay attention to your rotation interval based on how you actually use your truck. Ford's general recommendation is rotation every 5,000 to 7,500 miles. However, owners who tow regularly, carry heavy payloads frequently, or drive primarily in urban stop-and-go conditions should rotate closer to the 5,000-mile end of that range because the stress on tires is higher. Owners who do primarily highway driving can stretch towards 7,500 miles. Never go beyond 8,000 miles without a rotation on any tire that you want to reach its full tread life warranty mileage. One additional upgrade worth knowing: when you have your tires rotated, ask the shop to perform a road force balance at the same time, not just a standard spin balance. Road force balancing simulates the actual weight of the vehicle pressing down on the tire as it rolls and identifies imbalances that a standard spin balance misses entirely. The difference in ride quality, particularly on Ford trucks that are sensitive to tire imbalance at highway speeds, is noticeable. A road force balance costs $15 to $25 more per tire than a standard balance, and it eliminates the steering wheel vibration that standard balancing often fails to fully resolve. Your tires are the only part of your Ford that actually touches the road. Every horsepower your engine produces, every foot of stopping distance your brakes deliver, every handling correction your stability control makes goes through those 4 contact patches. Getting the tires right is not complicated, but it requires being informed rather than passive when you walk into any service situation. Stop letting the dealer default you into whoever's tire is on sale that week. Know your load rating, know your driving profile, skip the nitrogen upsell, understand what tire size changes actually do to your truck, and protect your investment with consistent, properly timed rotations. If you found this video genuinely useful, subscribe now, hit the bell, and leave a comment telling me which of these mistakes you've been making. I read every one of them. Share this with other Ford owners who deserve to know this information before they walk into their next service appointment. I'll see you in the next video.